Today I've built the ultimate pyramid base in ARK Survival Ascended in the brand new desert area on Astraeos, and this base is meant to be your one and all base for everything that you need, and of course a perfect fit here for the desert. I did another pyramid build a long time ago on Scorched Earth, but it felt time to do another one, you know, with 2 years of ARK building under the belt. And of course, try to make it into a actual practical base that you could use in a playthrough. And I think that definitely worked. Hello there, survivors, and welcome back to another build. As always, if you enjoy seeing these builds and you want to continue to see more, make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and of course, feel free to leave your suggestions for future builds you'd like to see down in the comments below. Now, this base is entirely out of Adobe, and there is a version of this where you don't need any mods or any cosmetics. I just used a few of these to spice up the interiors and the exteriors with a few of the statues and little details, but without those you still have a very cool looking pyramid. As for the official limit, which is often the issues when you go this big, and especially for pyramid shapes, I actually easily managed to get a version of this within the official limit. So when I do make the tutorial, if you'd like to see that, I will show you exactly how to build it for the official version. And then of course this version, which has slightly more details added, like all these planters around the build to add a little bit of greenery. The base offers a lot with a giant breeding pen on the inside, big enough to hold even your gigas, but of course you can have plenty of tames in there for all of your breeding projects, and of course a proper main crafting and storage hall for all of your utilities, and some cozy bedrooms higher up in the pyramid. And at the very top you can make a greenhouse, whether you just want to have a nice looking one like I have, or maybe make an actual functioning and performing one by turning the top of the pyramid into greenhouse glass instead. With that being said, let's jump into the build and let's take a good look around this entire ultimate pyramid base. So yeah, here we are. I'm very happy with the results. For the location, I managed to find a space where you can easily get a big foundation like this all placed down. It is actually right next to the obelisk, but if you want to have the chords, it's right over here on the map. So yeah, it's just a nice big flat area here where you can easily get your entire foundation down without any issues. Pretty decent area as well. It's very close to Minas Tirith over there, and of course the obelisk is nearby too, as well as this beautiful oasis just out in front. And as you can see, it is definitely a decent sized pyramid here. Yeah, very big build in the end, but I'm very happy with the way that this one turned out. So there's a few different entrances. You have these sides with the entrances to the main Dino pen at the bottom, as well as an entrance to the bedroom layer up top, and a connection of course to the greenhouse all the way at the very top. And then on the other sides over here, we have the entrance to the main crafting hall, also forming some of the design for the general pyramid, adding the details to the sides, etc. And the reason I didn't go for a pyramid entirely made out of roofs, etc., you see on the top, has two reasons, really. First of all, the Adobe texture, if you flip it around, looks fine for a pyramid, but the inside still looks kind of silly. But moreover, the inside also isn't very practical if you build it like that. Whereas if you build it out of big chunks like this, with 2 high walls every time going in, you actually get a lot of more usable space on the inside to use as your base, which just means a more practical interior, which after all, also quite important. But yeah, you can see there's some details here. I mostly use the Astraeos custom cosmetic for all of the utilities, like this on the transmitter, and that's the tech replicator. Then I've got a little bit of the CKF cosmetic here for some of the water tanks, if I remember to change all of them actually. And then we have some of these Egyptian statues. This is a free cosmetic as well, just a little deco box cosmetics where you can have some nice Egyptian statues, which is actually really helpful for this build. They kind of blend in perfectly with this style, and especially these ones match the vibe perfectly. So yeah, just a nice bit of an addition here, blending it all in together. So yeah, let's take a look on the inside of the base and see how much space this one has to offer. But as you can see, it's definitely a rather big one. I'm pretty sure it's like 30 something by 30 something. I don't remember the exact sizes, but yeah, it's pretty big. As you can see, we've got a big staircase going up. You've got some of those cool statues guarding the entrance, and I just used the steam house gate as the inside there. Then we have the replicator here welcoming us. So this one is the actual practical one. The other ones are definitely optional details because it's kind of silly and expensive, of course, to use replicators as decorations, but it works with the Astraeos cosmetic. Then we have a proper storage system here with the dedicated here, all Astraeos skins. We've got plenty of vaults as well. We've got a little industrial forge here. We got a cryo fridge, smithy. Then we have a little crafting corner here with the fabricator and the chem bench. We have some more room over here as well with the vaults over there. And then we have the mega lab right there. And then if we go all the way over here, we have our steam forge, which easily fits inside. We have our blood forge as well. And then if we continue over here, we have more storage and a little corner for the war bench. And then we have another little crafting site right here with the grinder actually. And then we have some additional storage here. And then a cozy kitchen area with all the amenities that we could need right here, and more storage. So definitely, as you can see, a very sizable base. Kept the layout as cohesive as possible. Some nice little details here that are definitely optional, especially if you want to keep the structure count low. But yeah, a nice base. And then I kept an open space so you can still fly up and down inside of your base, so you can easily get to the dino pen below that we'll check out in a little bit. But you can also find the staircases here that will lead up to the next floor. And then the next floor is pretty simple. We have our generator here providing power. We have just an open hole so that you can still fly in a flyer here and park it in here, you know, because these are the personal bedrooms. And we have two rather simple rooms with some personal storage bedroom and a little cozy corner. And then we've got two of those going on up here. So yeah, two additional rooms, but you can see it's still a decent amount of space on this layer. And then a little bit of extra storage, you know, if you just want to clear your pockets when you're flying in and out of the base. But from here you can also reach the top, so you can take, of course, these X's to the outside here. This is also where you can easily fly in and out, but you also have these staircase off to the side, which can lead you all the way to the top of the building, where we have the top of the pyramid, and I've turned that into a greenhouse. It wouldn't be a very efficient greenhouse. Personally, I don't always care about that necessarily if it just looks nice, but of course, if you want to be a little bit more effective, you could decide to turn the top of the pyramid into greenhouse structures so that you get the effectiveness. Whether you want to skin them or not is totally up to you, of course, but yeah, you can have a pretty decent greenhouse up here without too many issues. And of course, some pretty incredible views of all of your surroundings, because, well, you are pretty high up once you've built this entire pyramid. But yeah, I quite like the way that has turned out. And then, of course, finally, the big important layer is all the way at the bottom, where we can actually find the dino pen. And I tried to make this into as practical of a base as possible. So this is what I imagine you could do with it if you want to use this as your actual survival base. We got two behemoth cellar doors, or barn doors in this case, as entrances, so pretty big, again with the steampunk skins. And then I tried to add a lot of these shelves to the sides so you can park a bunch of different tames, as you can see. So for breeders, I believe this could be one of the layouts. I mean, you're free, of course, to do whatever layout you want on the inside, but this is one of the layouts so that you can actually store a bunch of different tames off to the sides, you know, have your different breeding projects. And you would even have way more size here on the back walls to place down a bunch of the structures, cryo fridges, etc., just to make sure that you have everything that you need. But you can see how much space there's available here. You have plenty of space for all sorts of different breeding projects with all of these different shells. And just to demonstrate the size of everything as well, we've got some gigas here that easily fit inside. So even some bigger tames you can do some breeding for. The new Grand Tortuga also easily fits inside here. And as I said, you can have all of your utilities down the side as well. There is plenty of room here to do a ton of breeding. And then actually, if we go to one of these sides, you'll find that they actually have some staircases too, so you can get up to the next layer. I made a little bit of a cryo storage on this floor, and then this is where you reach the different shelves. So if you want to reach the different tames, they are all over here. And then we have some flyers here at the very top layer, and then we got the same thing going on here at the opposite side as well. So you have a lot of space, a lot of room for a bunch of different tames if you want to turn this into a breeding pen, as you can see. But yeah, of course, you're free to do whatever you want if you decide to go for a build like this. Again, if you want to see the full step-by-step build tutorial, let me know. I'll probably work on that soon. But yeah, I think it's a rather nice base, and because of the design choices with the walls and the ceilings instead of the roofs, I think there's a lot more practical space in here. There's actually a ton of room on the inside. So yeah, definitely feels like you could have a full proper base easily within this build, whether you're just, you know, going to go to town for breeding, or you want to just have one place where you can easily house all of the structures, no matter the size of them. Yeah, this one is definitely a great option, and it blends perfectly into any desert biome with this theme. And I mean, building a pyramid, always quite fun to work on. I had a lot of fun working on this one, and yeah, I hope you guys like the design too. I think it is pretty cool. I tried to go for obviously something different than the pyramid that I did before, but yeah, let me know what you think. And also, I was thinking maybe I want to do a like modern pyramid, like a modern tech-based pyramid style. I have done one before, but that was like crazy big, way out of the official limit. It also was like over the limit that I had on my server. I had issues finishing that build. So maybe it's time to revisit that idea and do like a modern ultimate tech pyramid base, and see what I can come up with a few years down the line. But yeah, very happy with the way this pyramid turned out. I think it's a really cool base, especially adding some greenery on the outside, of course, helps give some vibes. But even without that, it's still a really cool base, and it will give you an insane amount of space on the inside. Anyway, that's going to be it for today's video. Hopefully you've enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and feel free to leave your suggestions for my next build down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video or the next stream. Goodbye.